Nu ska vi då få en liten inspirationsföreläsning som jag har valt att kalla det. Av ett bolag som redan är en svensk unicorn får man väl ändå säga. Hade det inte varit för Ingve så hade det till och med varit en amerikansk unicorn. Det här bolaget har levt en väldigt undanskymd tillvaro på börsen i många, många år. Men de senaste 4 åren så har aktiekursen verkligen tagit fart. 10-dubblats på de här senaste 4 åren. Och då blir man ju naturligtvis väldigt nyfiken på vad har hänt i det här bolaget. Så det är jättekul att få presentera Biotages vd. Torben, varsågod och kom upp. Scenen är din.
Tack för det. Låt mig först säga tack för invitationen till att komma och berätta lite om Biotage som ju hör till uppe i Uppsala. Och jag frågade ju när jag kom härtill, ska vi göra presentationen på svensk, skandinavisk, dansk, så jag gör den på engelsk. Jag kan väl säga att jag har varit i Sverige nu i 17 år. Och när jag är hemma med familjen i Danmark så säger de, vad är det för ett språk du pratar? För jag kan inte prata dansk längre. Och när jag är i Sverige, vad är det för ett språk? För du pratar heller inte svensk. Så det är lite skandinavisk. Men tack för det jag fick lov att komma och presentera. Så nu vill jag gå över till engelsk. Always you have to bring this little statement up there. So if you're going to buy shares after today's presentations, it's your own fault. Don't come back after me. I will tell you a little bit later on that you should have been buying shares some days ago. But just to give you a short introduction, what is Biotage? This is the story. I just spoke before that pyrosequencing is the beginning of Biotage. We are an Uppsala-based company. Went to the stock exchange in 2000, just before the collapse of the IT bubble. Raised 892 million SEK. This part of the company is not in Biotage anymore. It was sold in 2008 to QIAGEN. Up and until 2006, it was acquisition, acquisition, acquisition. Don't think about operational performance. Acquire, acquire, acquire. And that could be seen on the bottom line. There was not one single year from 97 and until 2005 that there were black figures. They were all red. But the philosophy was one-stop shopping, helping big pharma in drug development on small molecules. In 2006, that's where I joined the company. The board made a complete different story to it. Make the company profitable in the shortest time frame you can do. And my background was making turnarounds. I did that when I was working in Denmark in the big antibody company Dako. We made a turnaround there. So, and I had worked with the people in Investor and in HealthCap before, so they knew me. And then we started the journey from 2006 to bring it profitability to it. We did it in 9 months. That was not because of me, but we did it in 9 months. And we haven't looked back ever since, as you will see in a couple of slides. We then went into operations, constantly looking at what can we do to develop our company and go forward into making, in the first instance, sell the biosystems, get money in the company. We didn't have a dime to spend to develop the company. We got $60 million. The shareholders was kind enough to let me have it to continue to build. Started acquisitions again in 2010 with MIP Technologies down in Lund, and also a couple of product lines into the analytical space. Because then we started to have 2 legs to stand on, which I'll come back to. And then a little bit on we made subsidiaries. And I'll come back to that because that is very important when you want to grow and be a global player. Be in front of the customers yourself. And of course, we have just made another acquisition at the beginning of 2018 Horizon Technologies, which is in food and environmental testing. I could spend the whole time on this slide, so I will move on to give you a few other things. This is our world. That's where we are, headquartered in Uppsala, biggest site in Cardiff, where we manufacture all of our consumables products and part of our instrument products. The rest is more or less sales subsidiaries that we have made, and we are not finished. We will continue that LA in a couple of more areas in the next couple of years. We're now standing on 2.5 legs. Hopefully we will be standing on 3 legs in a not too distant future. And as you can see, it is the old business in organic chemistry that is still important. It's around 55%. It's going to go down a bit. I want to see analytical chemistry get more on an equal side. That's the reason for the acquisition of Horizon. So in the next couple of quarters, you will see that hopefully it will be 40, 50, 10. And I'm continuing to see if I can get a balance. And you can see the areas where we're working in synthesis and purification and evaporation, pre-treatment. And what you will see, and you saw it the first slide, if I should tell you one word, what is Biotage? We are a separations company. We separate compounds for our customers. Whatever it is, blood, urine, serum, water, soil, pesticides, think of us as the separation company. And of course, we are from Uppsala, which is the world center of separation from the old GE days. Just a quick glance on our major investors. I'll say a few words later on in one of my slides, what has been changing over the last 3 to 4 years. This speaks for itself. I don't think I need to say anything about that. It has been a tremendous fun to be running the company since 2006. So, just a few slides. What is the reasons for our success? Stay focused. We could go on 100 different routes. Stay focused. That is extremely important. I spent lots of my management time to tell my colleagues, let us stay focused. We are a separations company, and we will stick to that. We have it in small molecules, we have it at peptides, we have it at biomolecules, and we are now touching the biomolecules. And that is, of course, much bigger than anyone else's areas we have seen. Peptides, there is around 350 peptides in FDA right now, on its route through the 3 phases. So that is growing quite immensely as we speak. But it is important, keep focus. If you want to be a global company, you need to be international. And you need, if you can, create your own subsidiaries. The most important thing for us is stand in front of the customer ourselves, instead of having a filter of a distributor, because the more you are in direct contact with the customer, the better feedback you get, the better you get to know what is the next bottleneck of the customer, what are they working on. So 95% of our business is done by our own people. And I believe within the next couple of years, 97% is going to be that. We will never be 100% because there's 2 small areas. But very important for us, and that has been very helpful in our acquisitions, because now we are talking to people that are regionalized. They cannot get over the barrier of being international. Some are very local Californian companies. They're more or less only selling in California. Others are US-based, but have no international outlet at all. Management, as I said earlier, we are in the machine room every day. I know every single morning how many orders we've got, what has been the sales, and that's a pride I have always. My management is always in the machine room. Make decisions. We have a very strong relationship with our board. We can make them very fast. So we're not waiting. And sorry to say, I am not an individual that looks for consensus. We make decisions. If we can agree all of them, fine. But if not, we'll still go. Do we make mistakes? Yes, we do. But it's better to make mistakes and get it implemented and then correct it on the way. So, and then I can also say, some would say it's not so good, but I have a very stable management, and I've had it for quite some years. So we know each other very well. Some of them have worked with me for 15 years. So they sometimes know me better than my wife. So know exactly where we are in the different decisions we have to make. Acquisitions, bolt-on acquisitions. Looking for products, companies where we can go directly with our own sales force. We have sales forces, we have service forces in all of our direct countries. That's where we got Horizon. They were only in US. We're talking to 3 other companies right now. They are all local American companies that have products that we can just bolt in and thereby get the synergistic effects and not just add cost to it. And thereby using your sales outlet in a much more efficient way. Because we are spending around 28% of our top line in sales and marketing. So the more products you can drive through, the better. I have to spend time, like today. I'm quite often now out at roadshows. What happened to us, as mentioned in the beginning, when we went to 1 billion in value, that took us years and years and years. It took us 2.5 weeks to get to 2 billion. Was I surprised? Immensely surprised. But that was the European investor climate that suddenly saw Biotage pop up at their screen and said, what is this? And thereby constantly coming back, are you having coverage by any banks? No. Until last year where Danske Bank went in and made analysis. And that has helped us also to get coverage and get institutional investors, long-term investors, which I like for our investments going forward. And I think this is my last slide. 13 years in a row, 12 years in a row with 25% growth of EBIT every single year. I don't think there's that many companies on the stock exchange that can show that. And I'm sorry, the value is not 6.2, it's 6.5 after yesterday. We went through 100 yesterday. So by that, over to you.